Alrighty. Standard checking before everything goes. Yep, the transitions. Wonderful. Day 5. Well, kind of day 6 because I did some work on the day that I didn't stream, but streaming day 5. Today we've got to start work on the brown. So this isn't actually going to be a lot of brown stuff on the models. I'm just going to double check. Yep, that's right there. That's right there. That's right there. Right. So for the most part, it's gauntlets and any extra leather details, like the Misericordia has some leather on it. Some of them have tassets at the front. But for the most part, it's just the gauntlets. For the bikers, if I hold it in, it's also, and I'm going to start now, the leather of their boots down to this point, and then the actual tip of their boots for some reason are black. I don't know why. Now the brown that I'm using is roughly 3 parts Rhinox hide and 1 part corn red. That is because this is just a base coat, and when I do the proper layer over top of this, it's going to be done in, which one is it? Blood Reaver flesh. Had to look at the rack of paint pots so I can make sure I knew which one I was talking about. So in interesting news, well, the first piece of interesting news, we may have our first game scheduled for live stream. At the moment we're looking at the 25th of February. Leagues of Votan versus Thousand Suns. As we get closer and closer to the date, it's going to require me learning a lot of different stuff for OBS. We should be able to announce a few more details. Some of the stuff is going to be really interesting, because it's like, it's the first time I'm learning to do a lot of the stuff, so I'm going to have to try and keep track of scores for objectives and stuff like that, swapping scenes. That's the reason I won't be taking part in the battle, because until I work out all of the stuff that I've got to do just running the stream, I can't be trying to run the stream and playing at the same time. Both players and myself will have a headset or have a microphone hooked up, so we will be able to chat. If you are watching from the chat, you will be able to ask questions about the armies. I will be able to then pass that on to the players, and they will be able to answer, hopefully. Whoops, that's the wrong spot to put the brown. That is still supposed to be gold. So, we're only going to have a chance to do because of everyone's schedules, I think we're only going to have a chance to do one live stream before the Arc40k event. So it's going to be a practice game for the guys. I'm not going to have much of a chance to play more practice games, I don't think. And I've only played a handful of games with the custodians, and I'm still learning how to play them. So that's going to be fun when I show up down in Melbourne. If you do end up playing me, please be gentle. Like I know roughly what I'm doing. I would have been better off to take my Necrons, where I know them back to front, or take my Space Marines. But I've taken them down there before, so I wanted to do something different. The Misericordias on these guys are hidden away, so I'm not going to be worrying about painting them. You can only just see the handle in there. Yeah, after Arc40k there'll also be hopefully some painting streams that are a little bit different, where we do a speed painting competition live. If I can get some painters involved. It's getting the painters scheduled and involved is going to be the harder part. And after the first few streams we do for games, we'll eventually be able to schedule more and more streams as we get more used to it. Maybe I'll have to train or work with someone, teach them how to actually operate the stream. You know, get it all working eventually. Nikki's trying to be sneaky and it's not working.
Please, you're just being nice.
Yeah, it should be, well for me it's a pretty exciting time. All of the stuff that we've got planned. And the stuff we're trying to get planned. Because this is sort of something I've been trying to build towards for, well, over 12 months now. But because of stuff going on in life, a lot of it's had to be put off and delayed, and to finally actually see it coming together is really exciting for me. Let's have the gold down there, and down there. So it's $3. Right. Those two have already had their browns done. Vexilis. The Vexilis Praetor. there's another sort of thing where this brown, I could have gone with a more basic brown, which probably would have been, well, it wouldn't have been easier so much. But going with the reddish browns of like Doom Ball Brown and Blood Reaver Flesh, they contrast better with the gold because they have that extra colour added into them rather than being a yellow gold. At some point I will have to go through and do the very fine detail stuff on the gloves, which is like the gems and stuff like that they've got on them. But that's going to be off-camera work. Better have a look at how these guys work. Ooh. Sorry about that. Hazard of being live. Alright. So on these guys, it's the little leather strips here. Yeah, I just had my bald spot on the screen. Whoops. Really shows you how little hair I have. So on the front and back of each shoulder is those little leather strips, and then covering the crutch is the tassets. I think that's the right word. Either way, leathery stuff. I'm going to have to fully blow my nose in a second. I feel it coming. My body's having a bad time today because I've quit smoking as of yesterday. So currently my body doesn't know whether it's coming or going, and just like, why are you feeling sick? Just do what you normally do, just give us stuff. Yeah, quitting smoking has been annoying so far, and I'm only like 24 hours in. Well, probably close to 22 hours at the moment, but still. My body's constantly just like, go out for a smoke, go out for a smoke. I don't have any, because if I had any smokes, I'd be going out for a smoke instead of quitting. So much tidying up to do. I know I said I was going to do the gold pattern there and paint that on the weekend, but I kind of got distracted, and if you follow us on Facebook, you'll know that on Saturday, instead of painting that, I went out and played games. I had a game against 1,000 Suns. I think if we didn't have to end because it was already midnight, I would have lost the game with 1,000 Suns. Because we spent way too much time talking instead of actually playing. As you do when you're playing games with mates. So yeah. Was 35 to 33, I think. And I had 5 guys left on the board. I had Valerian and 4 custodians with shields. You guys. Yeah, the mission wasn't very friendly for me. I would have been further ahead if the mission didn't screw me, because the mission was one where objectives disappear, and the first 2 objectives disappeared, ones that I needed to hold and had people on. So it hurt me a bit. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, I forgot. They're freaking random leather straps on their boots. The Terminators don't have them, because Terminators you can't see their boots because of the capes. So I hope everyone else had a good weekend. Got some hobby done and stuff like that. Now that I'm actually releasing some content on the channel, we're nearing in on 100 subscribers, which feels really nice. Even though, you know, we're not getting as much work done on the channel as I would like. I'm not getting videos put out on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. It's mostly just live streams at the moment. It's positive to see that there's growth there. 2 more squads to go. And these squads actually have misericordias at the back, so I'm going to have to pay attention to them. The way he's holding this one, you'd expect it to not be in a scabbard. You'd expect him just to be holding it there ready to stab some mofo. I'm going to get to basing these guys. There's going to be a few spots where I'm going to have to touch up the golds, because I can see when I flip the model like upside down and stuff that it's not painted, because they've been airbrushed while they've been on the base. There's some spots where you just can't physically angle the airbrush. It's the sort of spot that you'd miss even if you were brush painting it, but it's going to annoy me just enough that I'm going to have to try and get it. Six models to go, and we're halfway to time. Maybe I'll be able to mix up I'm nearly out of the paint mix. Maybe I'll be able to mix up a second coat and get the second coat done. There's going to be so much cleaning up to do after this. There's just spots where, well, I say cleaning up, but like extra little details and stuff that I'm going to have to paint towards the end of the model. Like tiny little gems on the knuckles and tiny little aquillas on their wrist, and all 4 of those models I just didn't paint their legs on. The little bootstraps. The little bootstraps that shouldn't exist because it's power armor. If they exist, they shouldn't be little leather straps like that. Stupid custodians. Sometimes it's really like the armor was designed form over function. But given it's a sci-fi setting, that's perfectly fine. It's just annoying. And I forgot to paint your Misericordia. So probably a good thing I double checked my work. At one point I considered doing a Custodes army. It was actually the orcs disguised as Custodes. I was going to get like the orc boys and stuff, and cut up pieces of Custodian armor and add those as the armor panels on the orcs. But I just couldn't find the right orc kits to do it with at the time. All of the orc kits had too much armor already on them, So it's like in places where you'd have to slowly carve everything down and re-sculpt the orc, and that just really didn't sound like fun to me. Alright, I'm going to have to mix up some more paint. Roughly close enough. So again, it's 2 parts Rhinox hide, 1 part corn red. I think I may have said dried bark the first time. Look at me giving bad advice on how to paint. Next. I don't know how far I'm going to get with highlighting these guys. I think it's going to be just some very simple, quick edge highlighting, like no more than a couple of minutes per model, because I have to have it done for an event, and I have other stuff I need to organise as well. Having jury duty coming up soon is going to be possibly a big time sink. It depends if I have to spend more than a couple of days there. Because one of the things that people like to do for Arc40k is a display board, and I don't have a display board. Don't have one. I don't even think I'm going to have time to make one, unless jury duty is over and done with in like a day. Then I'm not going to have a display board. Just throwing that out there. I think at this point I'm going to struggle to even have all my basing done to the level I want it. My nose is being silly again. I may have to cut the stream short just because the amount of freaking blowing my nose in a bit. Whenever I change anything, be it like the temperature on the thermostat, or do I wear an extra blanket overnight, or have an extra blanket on overnight, my body just goes haywire. If everything's not exactly the same as it was, then it just goes haywire. Runny nose, shivers, and it drives me a bit insane. And that's our first coat of browns on all of those models. I don't know if you can tell very well on here, but earlier today I put the recess wash in the purple there, because once I tidy up that part, I go back with the silver, touch it up, go around with the gold and make sure everything's trimmed properly. I will be hitting the purple on there with a gloss varnish. I'll also be trying to get done today a wash on the purple robes so that I can come back in another day to finish highlighting it, because I would like to highlight that on stream. Show how I do the highlights for my cloth, which I think I've already shown in a couple of other videos, but you know, techniques grow over time. I think, given the opacity and stuff of this coat, I'm not, and the final color of it as well, I'm not going to come in and do a solid layer over top. I think I might just come back in, wash it with Agrax, and then highlight it. Give a quick highlight. To cut down on how many steps I've got to do, which is great for saving time, and if I can get it knocked out like this afternoon or tomorrow morning, then that's the leather done. And that could be really nice for me for trying to get other stuff done and having time to put detail into other work. Because the more detail I can put into other work, the better the models will be all up. I mean, I'm still going to have to come back in and paint the Aquillas and all that crap. But that's going to be tiny brushwork. But the colours are coming up really nice. There's a nice amount of colours on there. Words failing my brain hard. Being able to break up the model with different colours really helps with the effect. Because when you look at, you know, as much as like a car manufacturer tries to make sure that most everything on the outside now is whatever colour that the car is painted, there's always some variations. So having a different gold on the exhaust is nice. It shows that not every paint is exactly the same. Having the gloss on there and the matte there will help it be that that's metal and that's cloth. Because the cloth I'm going to be trying to do pure matte. And that's all 3 bikes done with the second leather coat, I think. Running out of time. Running out of time. Alright. Oh yeah. Get as much done as I can before my nose gives out again. I do love the look of the Vexillus Praetor from the Warden kit. Just that little cloth there breaks it up so nicely from the normal custodian guard. Foot to paint off the boots. Something I should look at doing. Oh no, I'll wait and do that part when I've got to do that colour for other stuff. Brain's trying to make me do stuff that I don't want to do right now. What I will do is some Rakarth flesh, because I don't have to paint this anywhere else on any other models. So while I have some time, I'm going to be trying to take care of these. I don't know if I'm going to try writing on these this parchment, or whether I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. I feel like writing is not my strong suit. Even if I was using a pen, it wouldn't really be my strong suit because my handwriting is terrible. Let alone trying to do either really tiny text or just squiggles. That wouldn't be very my style. You can see, again, it's just another colour that helped break things up. I hear a lot of people say, you know, 3 colour minimum. And for a lot of armies, 3 colours can be hard to make up. But for some like the Custodes, you can do 5 to 10 colours and they'll still look good even if you've only base coated those colours. Highlights don't bring out as much on these models as the fact that you can change the colours of stuff on these models. You know, having 2 different tones of silver, things like that. Well, actually, yeah, 2 tones of silver. But yeah, I think we're going to end it there because I'm running out of time before I've got to pack up anyway. So yeah. Like I said, 25th of February, and I will be putting up some posts closer to the date. We're looking to do our first live stream for a game. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to try and test out different camera angles and stuff like that. Work out, because I think I need some USB extension cables for the cameras, and get all that sorted, and then hopefully I may even do a test stream beforehand, introduce how the setup's going to work, double check stuff. I'm not sure if I'll just put that on private or not, but yeah. Anyway, I've got to go start sorting out to pick up the kids. Have a good one.